I'm Lukundo, aka Lux. I run Bantu Gold. It's a fashion brand telling African stories on a global stage. Thank you to Jenny for having me. Check us out, Bantu Gold, Botswana to the world. Yeah.
Love it. Have superstars, but today it's a different day. We are speaking on Bantu Gold. For those of you who don't know Bantu Gold, it's a local brand.
Yeah.
I was speaking earlier to say I'm loving what I'm seeing in the fashion space,
Yeah.
and Bantu Gold has been here.
Yeah, we've been pushing.
It's been here.
Yeah.
Maybe just a quick, I know I did say your intro, but I want you to touch a little bit on the Bantu story.
All right, awesome. So yeah, I'm Lukundo, Francistown boy, Slipper stand up.
Yeah.
Born in Francistown, came to Gabs. So yeah, the brand is actually the brand is actually a COVID baby. Yeah, so it started in about I'll say 2021. I studied accounting, so I was working as an auditor at the time. But during those times, we're given badges. One person is essential, the other person is non-essential.
Yeah.
So I got the non-essential badge. So just sitting at home, I was just trying to think of new ways to just be creative and keep myself busy. So that's how the brand started. Our first product was masks. We sold those designer African print masks. Then from there, gained some confidence, started doing t-shirts, hoodies. Eventually did a full collection. That's how we ended up being scouted by Mr. Price. That was our first really full collection, scouted by Mr. Price. We did an internship there for, a couple of weeks. And then, I've just been pushing ever since, from London to Toronto to New York. Who knows what's next.
I want you to take us through the journey. It was during COVID that you started this brand.
Yes.
What inspired you to start the brand, and what inspired you to call it Bantu? So, Bantu Gold. It's not just Bantu, it's Bantu Gold.
Bantu Gold.
Yeah,
so I've always been creative. The name, it actually came when I was younger, back in 2016, because we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And then my business mind was ticking to say that if I can make this thing not just be a side hustle, for it to be a full business, it needs a proper name. That's when I put Bantu Gold on it. Yeah.
I love that. Earlier on, we were speaking just off air of some of the brands that you have collaborated and worked with. I want you to take us through your creative process, because you don't just create pieces, And I think that's the one thing that I also like about Botswana currently.
Yes.
We are speaking, and I was saying yesterday I saw one of our fashion icons in the country, Metsolodikobe, who's out in Paris at a very big fashion event. You did mention that also Glotto currently is in Brazil,
Yes.
You have been just not so long ago, you were in New York Fashion Week.
Yes.
Ghana New York Fashion Week, you're talking about a global event.
Yep.
And you are showcasing your stuff there in Khoneko, and all your pieces, the three of you and many others that I didn't mention, they are very creative. What's your creative process?
Number one, prayer.
Oh, love it.
Yes. Number one, prayer, just asking God to open up my mind every morning, just before I do anything. And then from there is just finding a way to tell African stories in a global language. So that's the whole inspiration behind Bantu Gold. We use a lot of African patterns, a lot of African prints. I know it's a radio interview, but even right now I got the Botswana flag.
I see that, and it's in a very stylish way.
Yeah, in a stylish way. So just finding ways to take the things that we already know, because a lot of the times when you have African fabric and African print, especially for the younger people, they're associated with just going to a wedding or some ceremony. But now finding a way to take those items and just have them as ready to wear every day. You can go to parties wearing it.
Yeah.
You can, go to the mall wearing it. So that's the whole idea when we're creating.
How have you managed to penetrate the market? Because we see a lot of people start fashion lines. A lot of people start fashion lines. The fire has died. People are not buying, especially in I'd say our country, or not just our country. Maybe it's an African thing, I don't know. But I've seen and realized that in our country we'll rather go for certain international labels and not buy our own. But with you have penetrated the market and even showcased your work outside Botswana. How have you managed to penetrate the Botswana market and convince people that you need to buy my brand?
So it's you made a good point. People love international brands.
Yeah.
So what we said, hey, let's go international. Let's also show them that we can operate at the highest level.
Yeah.
Like, for example, New York Fashion Week, that's the premier fashion week. It always starts the calendar.
Yeah.
So it goes New York, then people are in Paris from there. So that's always the aim, to just go global show that our work can stand there, and then whenever we come home, we get a lot of love. So that's sort of the idea behind it. Even just really working on getting into the South African market. It was only after doing those things that's when, even back home, people were realizing that okay, this brand is here to stay.
Yeah, we spoke of international brands, Mr. Luke.
Yes.
And you did mention that the only way was for you guys to challenge yourself to say, let's go out as well.
Yes.
I want you also to touch on something that I saw that really caught my mind. Hey, I saw that you worked with. I'm mentioning it because it's a global brand that we use every day, Molapeng.
Yes.
And you are creating pieces for them,
Yes.
beautiful pieces.
Yeah.
And I recently saw a collaboration where it was there's a gentleman who goes by the name Rich Mnisi, one of the biggest brands in SA.
Yes.
And internationally it's one of the biggest brands, very luxurious brand. He had collaborated with a certain drink.
Coca-Cola,
Yes.
Okay.
And I really loved those kind of collaborations. I want you to take us through that. How did you manage to get through that, collaboration for a Botswana who's sitting at home like fashion design, not fashion designer, but t-shirt brand and it died.
Yeah, okay.
So there are so many who are doing the same thing, and maybe give them motivation on that.
Yeah, so even that story, it's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
We've been working with Unilever for a long time now, but the first time they came across one of our jackets. Yeah, somehow, because I sold it to someone, and then that someone was out with someone who was a big person at Unilever marketing. So then they reached out. They said, listen, we've seen this jacket, we've gotten your number. Are you able to do something like this on a corporate level, like where we give you creative direction, you also come with the creative direction? At that time, I'd never tried anything like that.
Wow.
But when they were asking me, I just said, yes, I can do it. Then I ran back to try and figure it out how I'm going to do that. So I think, yeah, the way the story has happened, when you ask these questions, that's when I look back and think, but really, it's just God, it's prayer, the way doors have opened, the way things have just fallen in my lap. I can't even put it into words.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Master Prize, the Master Prize competition that you won, right? I saw that also a certain brand, a local brand, Glotto. I think it's only them and you, such, Most of us, we buy in these shops, we don't know the entry levels. I was speaking to somebody back then, you know what, Botswana, we don't know quite a lot of things. So I want you to share with you like your experience and how did you manage to get there for somebody that is listening. Designer,
Yes.
so they might have that opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. I think with Mr. Price, I know it's been Bantu Gold, it's been Glotto, there's also been Nguo by Tumi.
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah.
There's been a couple of designers. Thank you to Fashion Without Borders. They're the ones who always put those sort of things together. So in terms of an experience, it really taught me to pay more attention to the business side of things. The trends, that's where I learned about forecasting. Like right now I already have my collection for next year ready. Just taking those elements seriously and really running my brand like a business. So even to the people at home, I would say that you're not even too far, because I'll be honest, in New York, when I was seeing some of the other designers go, and I was just like, yo, hey, I right now off my head I can name 10 designers that would just delete everyone here. In terms of skill set, in terms of everything. So maybe it's just now just to go back and focus on the branding side, the marketing side, the business side, your admin, really just running it like a proper company.
Let me ask, how is the support from Botswana?
It's there. Like Botswana will always come out, but it's sort of, I'll give an example, like Letsile. Probably in his neighborhood, everybody knew he was the fastest person. Yeah. But only until he proves it on the global stage, that's when we will now really pay attention to him. So so the support is always there. Sometimes maybe it's just dormant. You just have to do certain things to also make everybody proud enough to come and support you in the open.
In terms of policies and what government has, what can you say about that?
It needs some work.
What work exactly? Because people are listening, policymakers are listening, people who work in certain offices are listening. So what policies would you say should be put in place, or what improvements can government do to help fashion designers and people just in the creative space who are in your niche?
Yes, so I'll talk from my point of view.
Yeah.
For example, when I was in New York, I also attended another brand, Kid Super. So he did what you call the People's Runway. So he did his runway, then he had 5 other upcoming designers also on his runway. So looking at working with the government and doing things like that and taking us on a global stage as well. Because on my side, the New York trip was fully self-funded. I can't speak for other brands, but I also know like people are funding themselves to do these things. And if it's a situation where we want the arts to go to another level, we need some sort of backing. It'll be great to get that going. And then now on the other side, just the manufacturing sector, because at the end of the day, for us to reach a certain quality, yes, we design here, we do our manufacturing here, but maybe now if we want to push 10,000 units, we have to look across the border to get that going. But there's artisans and seamstresses that are skilled enough to actually do that this side. So in terms of policy making, that's where I would guide our people. But it's a long conversation. It's not something we can just solve this morning.
Your last words to Botswana, and also where the people can find you, where the people can get the merch as well.
Awesome. So to Botswana at home, if you have a dream, it's valid. Don't look down on it. Right now, get started. Even if it means putting one piece of paper and connecting it to the other, just start. That's what I would encourage everyone. It's never too late to start. It's never too early to start. Just go for it. In terms of where people can find the brand, we're on all socials at Bantu Gold. That's BANTUGOLD. On Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. And then in terms of where you can find the merch, check us on our online store. That's bantu-gold.com. So yeah.
I think one thing that you didn't highlight is that you're not just in BW.
Yes.
So you are international, like you did say.
Yes.
Even in SA, the people there can also find the merch on the online store.
Yes, on the online store. So we're selling globally. Right now, the Canada market is doing really well. The States market, South Africa. So
you also send to those countries?
Yep. Everywhere.
Wow.
Global.